So now we're going to move on to the peripheral vascular assessment. So I'm just going to begin with inspection, and everything looks good. I'm going to inspect her extremities. They are pink, hair distribution is normal. Her legs are also pink. There's not much hair there, but I'm sure that hair distribution would be fine. I don't notice any ulcerations, any unusual bumps, or anything like that just from looking. And I'm going to go ahead and have you lay down. So I was serving for JVD, jugular vein distension. And I do not see it laying in the supine position, so if you could just sit up a little bit for me and relax. I do not notice it at 30 degrees. Sit up just a little bit more for me. I do not notice it at 60 degrees. And sit all the way up for me. And I do not notice it at 90 degrees, so no jugular vein distension. So you can just turn back for me. Now I'm going to go ahead and palpate her extremities. So do you notice any tenderness? Any tenderness here? Any tenderness? Any tenderness? Okay. Her temperature is normal. She's warm to the touch. No tenderness was reported as I palpated, and now I'm going to test for any edema. So I will test for that by using 2 fingers and pressing, starting about here in the mid-tibia area. Can you see that? Yeah. And I'm going all the way down to the foot, even though you may not be able to see her foot. And there is no edema. And now could you close your eyes for me? You're just going to point to where I touch on your body. And her distal sensation is good. So now I'm going to move on to her peripheral arteries, and I'll start with radial. I would say that they are normal at a +2 on the scale to 4. Now brachial. And they are symmetrical, and I would rate them as a +2 as well. And now popliteal behind the knee. And I'm just going to do these one at a time. Okay, I'm going to do them both. And they are normal and symmetrical, and I would rate them as a +2 as well. And you can just, I would normally have them on bed, but so for the posterior tibialis, it's right here on the inside of the ankle. Those are symmetrical, and I would rate them as a +2. And then the dorsalis pedis, a little hard to feel with socks on. I would normally have her socks off. And with that, I would take off her socks and test using the Doppler. And for that, I would put it at a 90-degree angle right over the artery and wait until I hear a swooshing noise. And then lastly, I'm not going to show on her, but for femoral artery, I would make sure to palpate here on both sides to feel. But everything was +2 on her. Do you have any questions for me? No. And that concludes the peripheral.